mean, Shelburne Farms was founded in the 1880s as a model farm and country estate, and then the not-for-profit educational organization was started in the late 60s, early 70s. I believe they incorporated the not-for-profit in like 72. So we're a not-for-profit educational institution, but all through the whole history of the farm, there's always been a working farm. And actually, when I was at UVM in the late 70s, early 80s, you could buy Shelburne Farms raw milk in cartons in like the Grand Union in downtown Burlington. So we've always been sort of involved with, what you might call vertical integration, direct marketing of the farm products. And then in the mid 80s, we started making cheese, and we're making cheese about 320 days out of the year, making about 80% of our production into cheese that's sold on the farm. But we also have an inn and restaurant, and we grow a lot of the food that's used in the inn and restaurant. We have not just the livestock operations that I run, but we also have an extremely diversified farm where we grow vegetables and fruits. We even are growing some mushrooms and do the maple sugaring, and that's all for use at the inn and the restaurant. I mean, we call it farm to table now, but it's something that the farm has been doing since the inn opened. So currently, we're like all the beef and lamb on the menu at the inn is grown on the farm. So a lot of the food that's served at the inn and restaurant is grown here, and then our main agricultural enterprise is cheese making. We make about 170,000 pounds of cheese a year that is sold and then goes to support the educational mission of the not-for-profit. We're selling cheese all across the country. We're selling it from Shelburne to California. We're trying to emphasize sales at our own farm store. That's the number one priority, selling as much of it at the farm as possible, and then through, the inn and guests, and then sort of in Chittenden County, trying to get sell as much there, and then, that sort of, we like to think of Boston as a local market. So try to sell in, New England, New York, and try to keep as much of the production close to home, or much of the sales as close to home as possible. The small farms are probably the farms that are best suited to feeding a local market, where you're closer to the consumers. The consumers can get to know the farmer and how the food is grown on the farm, and really small farms are at such a disadvantage in the, sort of the mega food system, that cutting out the middleman and going direct to consumers is probably one of the only ways that they can survive.
That was after one successful year because we doubled the size of our operation.
And what year was this?
This was probably 1984 or 85. Typically, a farm like this is handed down through families.
Mm-hmm.
My father was a builder, and I sort of was a builder too. So I think that was part of the challenge. We did this, but we identified with what people wanted and how we had a clear plan. And even at this rough early stage, you see the diversity of the product line. But what we've built and what we've adapted to into a multi-diverse operation that brings people on the farm. If there's any lesson to be learned for agriculture, it's diversification. I think the lack of is probably one of the problem sets. I think what you're going to see is we are going to separate ourselves from small farms, and then all of a sudden there's going to be niche marketing. And you're going to see small farms come back. Initially, I was a first generation apple grower, so I just picked a plethora of all varieties and said, let's just grow 14 varieties, not knowing what sold, what didn't sell, but we've honed it down to what sells and what doesn't sell. And when I realized that 70% of my apple business revenue was coming from 30% of my crop, I knew I had to change that. We wanted to sell good aged cheese. We keep on hand 18,000 pounds all the time, aging it. 18,000 pounds is a lot of cheese. Plastic bags, plastic containers, clamshells, all of those things that are, made it easier to do those things. China was number one importer of recyclables, paper. They've backed away from that in the last 2 years. That's made us really look at recycling. We've infused an awful lot of work and effort and time in 30 years, and it's just, it's not for everybody, but it suits us.